Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic is structure of nerve, neuron and synapse. These topics comes under nervous system. Okay, so nervous system is what? This system helps us to coordinate with the environment. We can relate ourselves with the environment with different changes that we realize by having nervous system, because of having our nervous system. Okay, so nerve, neuron and synapse, these are the topic for today. Okay, neuron, it is the structural and functional unit of our nervous system. Neuron, it is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. And nerve is neuron together form a bunch, that is nerve. And synapse is the junction between two neuron. Okay, so these are the three topics for today. Let's come to nerve. This is nerve. This is our nerve fiber. Okay. The layer, the membrane of the nerve is called the epineurium. Okay, come from the inner side. First, there is a neuron. This is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. Neuron, a bunch of neuron. The neuron is surrounded by a membrane. That membrane is called the endoneurium. Okay, endoneurium. This orange part is the endoneurium. This bunch of neuron together form what? That is called the fascicles. This is fasciculus. Fasciculus is a singular. In plural, we say that is a fasciculi. So this is the fasciculus. Now there are 15 to 20 fasciculi. Then this membrane is called the this orange, this part. This membrane is called the endoneurium. From the endoneurium there is a nerve cell. Now this is the fasciculi, and the membrane of the fasciculi is called the perineurium. Okay, this membrane is called perineurium. Now this bunch of fasciculi form this part, and the membrane of that is called the epineurium. This is the epineurium. This membrane is called epineurium, and this bunch together form the nerve. So this is our this is the location. Here is the location of the neuron, and it is the nerve. Now this is neuron. Neuron is originated from the ectoderm. Okay. Now it has two parts. The first part, this part is called the cyton or cell body. Cyton or cell body, or it is also called soma or perikaryon. And this long thread-like structure. The processes is called the axon. Neuron divided into two parts. Cyton and neurites. Then neurites, these are neurite is actually the processes from extend from the cyton. So neuron is divided into two parts, cyton and neurites. Neurites is further divided into axon and dendrites. Okay. So here is the axon. This part is axon, this part, and these are the dendrites. Dendrites is the branches, the fine branches is the dendrites. From the cell body there is a peak. This is the dendron. That part is called dendron. And then dendron further divided into fine branches. Fine branches are called the dendrites. The dendron and dendrites or cell body, they act as a afferent activity because they receive the signal from the previous neuron. Okay. So within the cell body there is a cytoplasm. That cytoplasm is called the neuroplasm. That neuroplasm contains mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, Golgi body, and cell neuroplasm contains a special structure, that is Nissls granules. Nissls granules. These Nissl granules are ribosome and endoplasmic reticulum. They are mainly responsible for the protein synthesis. These Nissl granules are mainly responsible for the protein synthesis. Okay. Now from the cell body there is a long structure that emerges from the one part. That point from where the axon emerges from the cell body, this part is called the axon hillock. Axon hillock. Okay. And the Nissl granules are absent within the axon. And the cytoplasm within the axon is called the axoplasm. Another more important thing is that nerve cell is lack of centrosome. We all know that centrosome is absent, lack of centrosome. Absent. We all know that centrosome is responsible for the cell division. It helps animal cells to divide. As here centrosome is absent, so nerve cell or neuron is not able to divide. Okay, they are long cells. Okay, now there is the axon, and the cytoplasm within the axon is called the axoplasm, and the membrane of the axon is called the axolemma. Okay, now on the axon there are some cells. These cells hold the axon like that. Suppose it's the axon, the Schwann cells hold the axon like that. These cells are called Schwann cells. These cells are called Schwann cell. Schwann cell secretes a phospholipid substance, that is a fatty substance inside the Schwann cell. That fatty substance is actually called the sphingomyelin. That is actually myelin sheath. Okay, they secrete the substance. That substance is called sphingomyelin, and that is actually the myelin sheath. Myelin sheath, and there is a nucleus of the Schwann cell, and the membrane outside the extreme outside, that means the membrane outside the Schwann cell, that membrane also extended outer part of the axolemma. That membrane is called the neurolemma. Where myelin sheath is absent, so there axolemma, and then after the axolemma there is a neurolemma. And where the fatty substance is there, then where fatty substance or myelin sheath is present, then first axolemma, then myelin sheath, then Schwann cell, and then after neurolemma. Okay. And some region there Schwann cells is absent. That part is called the node of Ranvier. Node of Ranvier. Some neuron possesses myelin sheath and some neurons lack of myelin sheath. So the neuron which have myelin sheath, they are called myelinated neuron. They are called myelinated neuron, one type, and if myelin sheath is absent, then they are called non-myelinated neuron. Okay, so this is the axon, and at the end part of the axons, there the terminal part is form arborization. They divided into branches and form the synaptic knob. They form at the extreme terminal position, they form a bulbous structure. This bulbous structure is called the synaptic knob. This is synaptic knob, and this part is called the arborization. Okay. Now the synaptic knob, within the knob there is a vesicular structure that is called the synaptic vesicle. I will give the detail on the synapse. So, okay, one more thing, very important thing present within the neuroplasm, that is neurofibrils. Neurofibrils. What are neurofibrils? They are actually made up of microfilaments and microtubules. Microfilaments and microtubule. Okay. Microfilaments and microtubules. Microfilaments are made up of two types of proteins. Okay. Microtubules. Microtubules actually made up of two types of protein, that is dynein and kinesin. Dynein and kinesin. What is the function of these protein? When these microfilaments are present not only within the neuroplasm, they are also present, these neurofibrils are also present within the exoplasm. Okay, so the vesicle, synaptic knob, the synaptic vesicles which actually contain the neurotransmitter that travels from the from the cell body to the synaptic knob with the help of the kinesin protein. So some neurofibrils, that means the microtubules, contain kinesin protein. They help the vesicles, synaptic vesicles, to move from the side to from the cell body to the axon terminal. From cell body to the axon terminal. These vesicles are transported from cell body to axon terminal, and this movement from cell body to axon terminal is called the antegrade movement or anterogate transport. Okay, this movement from cell body to axon. This is cell body and this is axon. So, in this direction from cell body to axon, this movement is called the anterogate transport, and in this transport the fluid field, that neurotransmitter filled vesicles, are transported from cell body to the axon terminal with the help of the kinesin protein. Where is the kinesin protein located? This kinesin protein is located on the microtubule. Okay. Now, these vesicles come to the synaptic knob and release the neurotransmitter. After releasing the neurotransmitter, these vesicles get empty, and that empty vesicles again move to the cell body. Again it moves to the cell body. So, in this backward movement of these empty vesicles from synaptic knob to the from axon terminal to the cell body is called the retrograde transport. Retrograde transport, that is upward direction from axon terminal to the cell body. Okay, and in this backward movement, a protein is helped in this movement. That the name of this protein is dynein. Okay, this dynein protein, that is also located on the microtubule. This dynein protein help the empty vesicle to move to the cell body. Now come to the synapse. This is synapse. What is synapse? The junction between two neurons. This is the synaptic knob. Okay, and this is the surface of the dendrite of the next neuron. This is synaptic knob, and within the synaptic knob there are synaptic vesicles. Okay, and within the synaptic vesicles there are neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitter are of different types. Based on the type of neurotransmitter, neurons are of 2-3 types. Like if it contains the adrenaline, then it is called the adrenergic neuron, like that. And if the neurotransmitter is acetylcholine, then that type of nerve is called the cholinergic. Dopaminergic, that means if the neurotransmitter is dopamine. So based on the neurotransmitter, there are different types of neuron. I have another videos based on the types of types of nerve. If you want to know about detail, then you go through that video. Okay. Now come to the synapse. This neuron is called the presynaptic neuron, and this is the postsynaptic neuron. Presynaptic neuron, postsynaptic neuron. Okay, because the impulse is coming in this way from presynaptic neuron to the postsynaptic neuron. So whenever the impulse comes, these vesicles get excited and they gradually come to the surface of the membrane, and they, by the exocytosis technique, the neurotransmitter are released within the space between these two neurons. So this space between these two neurons is called the synaptic cleft. Synaptic cleft, the gap between two neurons. It is about 200 Armstrong. The distance of these two neurons is 200 Armstrong. Okay, this is called the synaptic cleft. Now what happened? Whenever the neurotransmitter get released in these synaptic cleft, for the for the postsynaptic neuron, they have receptors on their surface. They receive that signals. In that way, the signals is passed from one neuron to the another, from presynaptic neuron to the postsynaptic neuron. This is called the synapse. And this membrane is called the presynaptic membrane, and the membrane of the postsynaptic neuron is called the postsynaptic membrane. These are receptors. Okay. So these are all about the nerve, neuron and synapse. I think you have cleared about these three terms. If you have any questions regarding this topic, definitely ask me in my comment section. I will definitely reply you. We will meet soon on my next video with new topic. Thank you for watching. Take care.